All right, guys, I'm back with a video. First, as always, let's start off with what's in my pocket. Today, I am carrying the 38 Grendling Whittler. Great pattern. This is what is known as a split back. I don't know if you can see there, but there's a gap right here. And basically what happens is there's a blade that rides on this one single spring here, a blade that rides on this one single spring here, and there's a wedge in the middle that slowly tapers down until these two springs form one, and then that main blade rides on that. Just a pretty cool little pattern. They made these years ago. I think 2015 is the year they made these. Yep, 2015 is the year that they made these. Great pattern. They did run them again, but as single blade California clips. I don't think too many people like them because they're still sitting on shelves. But anyway, that's what I'm carrying today. And on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, or pretty much the opposite end of the spectrum, is an old style pre-tack design from Emerson, the Mini A100. This is my old Mini A100 right here. If you guys are familiar, this is Monday the 13th of August when I'm recording this, so not the past Friday, but the Friday before. Emerson came out with another release, a limited release of Mini A100s, and he only had the satin finish. So that's what SF stands for. So M Mini A100, then SF satin finish. So you also see over here, I've got a clip, and this was on one of my other knives, and it's just an aftermarket We the People clip. And something I want to mention, because I had someone who bought an Emerson ask me some questions. The clip, I hope you can see there, that's probably the best place. You can kind of see those lines on there. Those aren't snail trails. That's not, the clip's not damaged. This is actually a tumbled black oxide finish. So just for information. Anyway, I already had this, but I also, when I picked up the new Mini A100, I picked up two monster thumb discs from Pete Gray of Gray Precision. And what these are oversized discs that extend a little bit wider, a little bit longer into the path of your thumb on the side. So one of the common complaints you'll hear people have with these, and that's surprising, that's the complaint I'm surprised I hadn't heard, is that with the factory thumb disc, which I'll show you when I take the other one out, it's smaller and it's hard for you to get access to the thumb disc to open the knife. So the monster thumb disc just makes that a little bit easier. This is a monster thumb disc from Pete Gray. I do like this design, but on this knife I find that this pattern, I think you can see it there, this pattern is not as easy to get a grip on, so I'm going to actually swap it out as well. So that's what I'm going to do here today. I had someone request that I do a installation video, which is pretty simple. Is with these Emersons, you're talking about Phillips head screws and flat head screws. So pretty easy. But let's take a look at the knife. It looks like possibly the centering is off a little bit to this side. Let's see. Let me take it off camera and look. Yep, the centering is off a little bit. It doesn't rub, but the centering is off. Everything looks pretty decent. Again, you can see that clip. You can see that it has lines on it. Those are not snail trails. That's the design of the clip. And then you can see this thumb disc. You can see what I was talking about the size difference and the ease of access to that, to the thumb disc. So you can see here, you can open it, you can close it. And I think I know now why people don't have the same complaint. The detent on this one, which is the one from last year's drop, is much more stiff than the detent on this. This one is hardly anything. I mean, you can't shake the knife out, but it's fairly light. It's smooth. That's one thing I've noticed about these new Emersons. They're very smooth. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna cut the camera real quick and pause because I'm about to die. The battery's about to die. So give me 1 second. All right, I'm back with a fresh battery. What I'm gonna use here, and I know I talked about Weeha tools. I don't have a Weeha small Phillips head screwdriver yet. So I'm gonna use this Phillips head screwdriver from an eyeglass kit. Used it several times. It seems to work just fine. So we're just going to turn the screw in the thumb disc counterclockwise. And it feels like it's coming, but it also feels like it's galling up a little bit. So let's see. Maybe that's just Loctite. So we've got it off. We've got the thumb disc off. You can see here, there's just a hole in the blade and a flat spot. So we'll take one of the monster thumb discs, and this finish is the, I believe it's bead blasted or media blasted, and it's, like I said, it's Zerk. So you can see there it has a flat finish, and it has rifle knurling on the side, which already I can tell you, it gives me much more traction and purchase than the other one did. Not that the other one is bad, and I'm actually going to install it on my Commander. So, got screw in here, going to line it up, drop it in just like so, and I always, just a quick tip, before I screw a screw in, I back it off and let it kind of fall in the hole, fall back in and line up the threads, and then I run the screw into the hole. So there you can kind of see the difference between the two. Both of them are oversized, but one of them is shinier than the other one, and the pattern on the side is different. So I'm going to swap this one out now, but let's give this a try. Yeah, that's much easier to access. And like I said, these knives, they've really stepped the quality up on these. I mean, it almost feels like it should just drop free. These things are super slick. Good early lockup. Like I said, the only issue I can see is the centering is slightly off. It doesn't rub. My other one, it is perfectly centered. So, and like I said, this one is from last year's run. This one is from this year's run. We'll take this thumb disc off. And again, I don't use a lot of Loctite. So it's kind of strange that I'm mentioning Loctite again, pretty much 2 videos in a row, which I haven't forgotten about the collection video, guys. I am going to get a collection video out. But if it were me and I could find my Loctite, I would be putting some blue Loctite on this thing here. And I think I dropped my screw. Oh no, it's in here. So we're going to put this one on, and I'll just drop the screw in here. It doesn't matter which way you turn it. It's the same on either side because it's a circle. We'll drop it onto the blade. Hold it like this. Like I said, give it that kind of turn until you feel it kind of line up with the threads, and then we're going to screw it in. And again, you can see there, installed easy, no problem. Gives me a lot more purchase because this one, even though it's patterned, you can see it's pretty slick, and it's more of a gear style pattern. This one here has what he calls rifle knurling, and it's much more aggressive. Not aggressive that it hurts your finger or anything, but once you put your finger on there, you get a lot more purchase, and it allows you to grip it a lot better. So we're good to go on that. I'm going to kind of push this stuff out of the way because now I want to take this factory clip off of here, and I want to install my We the People clip, aftermarket clip. And this clip did come from Emerson. The clip I'm about to put on did come from Emerson. So if you want to buy one, they sell them there. Benchmade clips fit. These fit on Benchmade, so on and so forth. So if you have a different clip that you prefer, you can. They're pretty versatile. You can swap them out pretty easily. So I'm going to stick the center screw in this clip. I'm going to thread it into the hole. I'm going to start to tighten it down, but I'm not going to tighten it all the way. Same thing here. Get it lined up. Kind of tighten it down, but not all the way. And finally for the last one. And now that it is on here and it's all lined up, we'll go ahead and tighten all the screws down. And just like that, we're good to go. Those are my two Emerson Mini A100s, and that's how I install a clip and a Peak Gray Monster thumb disc. I appreciate you guys watching. Remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.